Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Mike Easter Wilbur here. If you're new to the channel, this is where I talk about things I just like. I really just do things that make me happy, like opening Pokemon cards, giving away codes, um, video games, comics, technology, all this stuff makes me happy. And typically I want to share that happiness with all of you. Especially if you're new to this channel, that I want to invite you into my world. But this video is a long time coming, and I know what I put as the title if you clicked on this, and it's not just clickbait, but Nintendo really hates us. They really hate their consumers. And it's this weird thing. It's because we can talk about Sony, we can talk about Microsoft, but Nintendo goes out of its way to make things harder for its consumers. Which is, if you follow the right to repair, everyone talks about Apple. Everyone's doing the same things Apple does, but Apple brags like how they're eco-friendly. Like they literally put it out there that they're making things harder for their consumers, and that's what Nintendo is in the gaming space. So let's get into my details of what my thesis is, that Nintendo hates us. And a lot of things have been building, a lot of things, and I'm not alone. There are a lot of bigger channels that keep bringing this up. I've seen it on Spawnwave, I've seen it on RGT85, I think that's right. Sorry if I missed it. I've seen it on Beat Ups. Just how much Nintendo hates its consumer. I've seen it on other channels, like Linus Tech Tips brings up how Nintendo really just goes after people. And it's not even, takedown strikes. If they ever see this, I'm sure I'm going to get a copyright strike, takedown strike, whatever. Hey, got a notification, cool. But this really is a long time coming. So the final nail in the coffin, the thing that finally got me, is 3DS. And if you haven't heard, they're shutting down the eShop and everything. But I like physical copies, and there was a point in time that I missed a bunch of Pokemon games, and if you watch this channel religiously, you would know that I enjoy Pokemon. And so when I saw GameStop had a few games I didn't have, I was like, didn't play, get them. I didn't care about the price. They're a little expensive. I can go into why they're expensive, but got them. And I am a streamer. I like to show what I'm playing, and I enjoy when people come and talk to me. It just makes the game better. But you can't really stream the 3DS unless you mod it, which is getting harder and harder to do. So I got an emulator. Emulators are usually, the way people use them, illegal, but I only downloaded Pokemon X because that's one of the games I got. Haven't played it before, don't know it, but I actually own it, and you can, make a ROM to save the cartridge that you have. It's this weird thing, whatever, got it. And the emulator is called Sintra. It's probably the best one out there for 3DS. But streaming it, playing it on the computer sucked. There was so much lag, and while I have an older computer, I use older hardware. Everything I have should have made this work perfectly, but it didn't. As soon as it got some new data that hadn't been processed before, stutters, all this stuff, slowness, freezing, horrible. And that was the final nail in the coffin, because it goes to the eShop. They're shutting it down. They have shut down Wii's, virtual console shop. It's a Nintendo shop, and there's nothing. They haven't said anything for a long time about can you re-download your games, and it goes back. It's the digital versus physical problem. But all the bigger YouTubers are saying, this is going to lead to piracy, this is going to lead to piracy. And while I wasn't a pirate, I do own Pokemon X now. I can see why it's happening, but it's not a good situation. This is so hard to talk about because so they have all these great games, and you now cannot just play them. There's something deeper involved, because if you look at Xbox, you look at PlayStation, it's just it's a better hardware system based upon what they have. I have an Xbox 360, I have an Xbox One, I have an Xbox Series S, but it's the same basic setup. Whereas Nintendo has been so revolutionary when it comes to how you play your games. And backwards compatibility hasn't really worked. And people are really wanting, oh, why isn't there Game Boy games? Why isn't there Game Boy Advance? Why isn't there, SP, DS, 3DS? Because it's so fundamentally different. And I understand it's hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. But they actually, because they put themselves in a position of creating these systems that are fundamentally different from each other. The Wii doesn't look like the Switch. The Wii U, while it had that gamepad, was based upon you could plug your GBA into a GameCube. These were revolutionary ideas, and they leave consumers just in such a bad spot, because the Wii is still a great system. My 6-year-old nephew, he loves his Wii. I gave him a Wii, he loves all the games, and it's not really like they're upscaling the games a lot for when they which ones they put on the Switch. You can still play them on the Wii. That's with a lot of love. You can play N64 games with a lot of love. You can play SNES, NES system. You don't lose anything by keeping it that way. But Nintendo's business practices discontinue these amazing things and then come out and try to sell you it again. And a great example of this is, I found this here because, like I said, I have a 6-year-old nephew, and I'm looking for games to play with him. And I didn't have consoles growing up. I had a PC. I used to be PC Master Race. Not so much anymore because of streaming. But don't know much about the older games. And I found Carnival games. Great for a 6-year-old. Thought, it's cheap, it's fun, it's easy. I didn't realize that it dates back to the Wii. I found this at a thrift store just the other day. And it's like, wow, it's pretty much the same games. And it's a horrible business practice, because they could be supporting these older systems, making new games, allowing developers to make new games for each of these systems, because they're not dead. They're really not dead. Even this Game Boy. This is the first system I've ever had, is a gray Game Boy. Someone could make games for this, and it'd still be popular, it'd still be amazing, but Nintendo doesn't want to do that. They want to sell you on the new systems, and that really hurts consumers, especially since there's so many systems out there that they have that are just so amazing. It really hurts, and I'm making this video knowing that for some reason, if I get on the radar, boom, I'm going to get hit left and right, but whatever. So, back to my point. Nintendo hates us. Nintendo really hates us as consumers, because they're looking for pretty much the quick cash. It's like, can we resell this game? Can we make it a little better? And I understand changing the graphics a little bit, using the bigger processors and that, but their systems are so fundamentally different than everyone else's. Like, it's just a huge different experience, and playing on these different systems is amazing. It really is, and they could support it better. They could keep the servers up. They could help smaller developers maybe get a Game Boy game out there, a GBA game out there, a DS game. Like, it's not a lot, and this is really tough. This is really tough for me to say, because growing up, Nintendo was the company if you wanted video games. You were cool if you had Nintendo systems, and now it hurts. It really just hurts, and I don't really know what to do with it, because they're not going to be able to, emulate all the games that you would want. Sony is having this problem with PS3 games. It's still streaming. They're trying to figure it out, because they tried something different with the architecture for the PS3. It doesn't work for PS4 and PS5. And that kind of is the same way for Nintendo. So their systems have a lot of life in them, and it's just the quick money grab, really the quick money grab. And it's inflating prices for a lot of consumers. Not just, those who are looking to flip, speculators and all that, just people like me who want to play the games. Because I didn't play them growing up, and I know these are good games. Like, horrible copies are going for way too much, So between not supporting their older systems, not maintaining servers for eShops and being able to download, trying to force you to buy games that you've already bought before for different systems, Nintendo really, really hates its consumers. It hates us. And I really don't know what to do about it, because I have an Xbox. I have an Xbox 360, I have an Xbox One, I have an Xbox Series S. I love it. I play them for different reasons, but Nintendo is different. Nintendo is really different, and I don't think they're ever going to change. I made a joke on Facebook a long time ago when the PS5 and the Xbox Series came out. I said, my post was, Xbox and Sony come out with the most futuristic, top-of-the-line gaming consoles, and Nintendo brings back the Game & Watch from 1984. And that's kind of their strategy, and it hurts us. It really does hurt us. So, something to think about, especially moving forward. Because their plan, if there is a new Switch in a few years, I don't think there will be, considering what's going on in the world and how well it's doing. I mean, they haven't updated Mario Kart. It's going to be concerning if it moves to digital, especially for Nintendo, because they do not have a good track record. So, this is food for thought. I hope that this doesn't bum you out. This is a very bummer video for me. Just talking about it really is, because I love these games. I really do. But it's something we all have to look out for. So, I'm Magister Wilbur. If you agree with me, smash that like button. If you're just one of those people who get the notifications for Pokemon cards, sorry. Sorry. If you're someone who's waited this long, it's almost 14 minutes in, and you like Pokemon cards, codes, openings, all that, I post every Saturday for that stuff. That's my biggest thing. So subscribe, get the notifications, see, people are coming and going, but whatever. It's free stuff. It's free digital things. Other than that, follow me on Twitter at MyGeeseWilbs. I wish I could have gotten the full Twitter name, but it's apparently very long. And the Instagram I'm really using is my Pokemon card one. That's Pokemon_TCG009. And if you want just the personal one, it's still Magister Wilbur. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.